Hello and welcome to another edition of Snubbed. This is number 14 in this sort of side series. And I'm recording on August 2nd, 2025. Same day I watched the movie. And the movie was The Women from 1939. So on my snubbed list, this goes up against like The Wizard of Oz and Gone with the Wind, which won. I was able to get this one on Fandango at home for nothing because I had a Fandango credit from buying movie tickets. So that was good. The Women is a 1939 American comedy drama film directed by George Cukor, which, if you remember from the last couple episodes, George Cukor also assisted on The Wizard of Oz and was the original director on Gone with the Wind before Victor Fleming took over. The film is based on Claire Booth Luce's 1936 play of the same name and was adapted for the screen by Anita Luce and Jane Murfin, who had to make the film acceptable for the production code for it to be released. Get ready here. The film stars Norma Shearer, Joan Crawford, Rosalind Russell, Paulette Goddard, Joan Fontaine, Lucille Watson, Mary Boland, Florence Nash, and Virginia Gray. Marjorie Main and Phyllis Pova also appear, reprising their stage roles from the play. Ruth Hussey, Virginia Weidler, Butterfly McQueen, also in Gone with the Wind. Teresa Harris and Hedda Hopper also appear in smaller roles. Fontaine was the last surviving actress with a credited role in the film. She died in 2013. The film continued the play's all-female tradition. The entire cast of more than 130 speaking roles was female. Set in the glamorous Manhattan apartments of high society, evoked by Cedric Gibbons in Reno, Nevada, where they obtained their divorces. It presents an acidic commentary on the pampered lives and power struggles of various rich, bored wives and other women they come into contact with. Filmed in black and white, it includes a 6-minute fashion parade filmed in 3-strip Technicolor featuring Adrian's most outre designs. Often cut in modern screenings, it has been restored by Turner Classic Movies. On DVD, the original black and white fashion show, which is a different take, is available for the first time. Throughout The Women, not a single male character is seen or heard. The attention to detail was such that even in props and such as portraits, only female figures are represented, and several animals which appeared as pets were also female. The only exceptions are a poster drawing of a bull in the fashion show segment, a framed portrait of Stephen Haynes as a boy, a figure on Mary's nightstand, and an advertisement on the back of a magazine Peggy reads at Mary's house before lunch that contains a photograph of Douglas Fairbanks Jr. In 2007, The Women was included in the annual selection of 25 motion pictures added to the National Film Registry. It's produced by Hunt Stromberg, cinematography by Joseph Ruttenberg and Oliver T. Marsh, edited by Robert J. Kern, music by David Snell and Edward Ward, production company MGM, distributed by Lowe's Inc., released on August 31st, 1939, with a runtime of 133 minutes. Technicolor fashion show. The Women has one sequence in Technicolor, a fashion show. When interviewed by TCM host Robert Osborne, director George Cukor stated that he did not like the sequence and that he wanted to remove it from the film. New York Times critic Frank Nugent agreed with this assessment. In his September 22nd, 1939 review of the film, he reported that a style show in Technicolor may be lovely. At least that's what most of the women around us seem to think, but it has no place in the picture. Why not a diving exhibition or a number by the Rockettes? It's the only mark against George Cukor's otherwise shrewd and sentient direction. 2018 British critic Peter Bradshaw describes the remarkable Technicolor fashion show as a mesmeric, wordless interlude that appears to allude to the nature of these women's lives. It starts with jolly outdoor scenes, almost pastoral, but then descends into moody nightclub darkness, a world of metropolitan chic and brooding sensuality. I can only compare it to the nightmare in Alfred Hitchcock's Spellbound. It was definitely out of place. Like, it was just weird. It would be fine if the actresses had interacted with the show in some way, but it was just a fashion show. It's literally just a fashion show. This was remade 1956. The comedy titled The Opposite Sex. In 1960, they toyed with the idea. 1977, it was remade for German television. In 2008, it was remade with Meg Ryan, Eva Mendes, Annette Bening, Jada Pinkett Smith, Bette Midler, and Deborah Messing. So the women. So I mean, there's a great cast of actresses at the time. This was the first thing I think I've seen Joan Crawford in. Norma Shear's been in quite a few things. Rosalind Russell, I think, might have been in something I've seen before this. Joan Fontaine, I've heard of at least. Um, so this is described as a comedy drama. I would lean more on the drama part. There were a few sort of genuinely funny moments. Nothing that I laughed out loud really at, but chuckled at. So I didn't really get the comedy part of it as much. It was there. It just I didn't think a lot of it was that crazy funny or anything. This was fine. I haven't rated it yet. I think I would probably give it 3 stars. It it had some great characters and some annoying characters. Joan Crawford was just a witch, which she may have been in real life too, uh, judging by Mommy Dearest. But this was fine. I think looking at the movies that were nominated. So Winner, Gone with the Wind, Dark Victory with Betty Davis, Goodbye, Mr. Chips, Love Affair, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, Ninotchka, Of Mice and Men, Stagecoach, The Wizard of Oz, and Wuthering Heights. There were a lot of really good movies in this round of Oscars. Okay, and there were 10 of them. So Wuthering Heights, I gave 3 stars. Stagecoach, 3 stars. Love Affair, 4 stars. Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, 4 stars. By Mr. Chips, 3 stars. Ninotchka, 3.5. Dark Victory, 4 stars. Of Mice and Men, 4 stars. The Wizard of Oz, 5 stars, which kind of gets, an extra one for being a classic. And Gone with the Wind, 5 stars. So, like I said, I'd probably give The Women 3 stars, which I rated some of the other movies in this round as 3 stars, but I don't think this was snubbed. In my opinion, there were a lot of really good movies this round. Stagecoach is kind of one that sort of sticks out compared to the rest of these, but it wasn't bad. It was better than I expected it to be. So, yeah, I don't think The Women was snubbed. It was a great movie, but there were a lot of it was a year full of great movies, so it would have been tough to fit this one in there. So, I don't think it was snubbed. So we'll see you next time for the start of the 1940 Oscars. Later.